Entrepreneurs Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, so the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, and how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneurs Enigma. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. I'm your host, as always, Seth. I have Khai Tran with me today, a good buddy of mine. He is the CEO of Penji. Now, if you're in the Philadelphia area, you've probably heard of them. They are a graphic design multimedia shop that is a subscription base. So you get to work with them on unlimited revisions. I guess unlimited is always one of those words I feel like it's kind of like within reason. Let's not abuse the privilege here, but it's a great shop, great product, affordable. So for the agencies, it's very easy to, use them and get the graphic designs that you need. Khai is originally from Vietnam. He's over here now in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. I think it's the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, which is it's very weird. It's like Rhode Island had a weird name until recently too. So, I'm gonna bring Khai in here and we'll get started. Hey, Khai, how's it going, buddy?
Going fantastic. Yourself, Seth? How are you?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. I got you on the show, which I'm thrilled about. We've been talking about this for a little while now. And so tell me, how did this all get started? Have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur?
That's a good question. No, I've actually never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I actually didn't know what the word means until I think
I love it.
late
Yeah.
20s.
So how did this all start? I mean, now you're an entrepreneur. You're the CEO of a pretty successful company in the Philadelphia area. How did it get started? Like, how did this whole thing get started?
Long time ago, we were actually based in Camden, and the original company was actually called Waterfront Media. And at that time, myself and Jonathan, we were trying to do something useful for the city because there were a large population of just underrepresented individuals that were looking for job opportunities. So our idea was that, well, if we could bring more companies and startups into the city, of course, that would spark the job market there. So the campaign at that time was actually called Penji. It wasn't even so at the time it wasn't even a company yet. It was more
a campaign.
So a mission.
Wow.
Yeah, and what we did was we started I think like a blog. It wasn't even like a website that talks about this unlimited subscription idea where we were trying to be the first startup in the city because you wouldn't join the city if there were no other startups there, right?
No,
so
wouldn't be with other like-minded people.
Yeah, so we want to get people here. We should be the first startups here ourselves. And so that idea, that initiative was originally called Penji. And we didn't really have expectations for it to go very far. And so what we did was we offer our service for free to all the nonprofits in the city.
Yeah.
And we were hiring interns to help accommodate the design needs, and myself and a couple other team members were doing all the designs. And so we didn't really make money off of Penji.
You never did at the beginning,
Yeah, and it was afterward. I think after we serviced the nonprofits, they started sharing a lot of the work that we did and started putting us into their newsletter. And then we started getting actual people, customers, contacting us exactly saying, "Hey, can you also service us as well? Can you also?"
And we'll pay you. We'll pay you exactly.
Yeah, and then we're like, "Oh, whoa! I mean, if that's the case, sure."
Yeah.
So we put together a quick landing page, and I think we accepted PayPal or something. It was really scrappy at that time.
When was this? Like early teens?
2017. So this was right around, I would say, April, May 2017.
Wow. Yeah, I remember hearing about you guys. I remember hearing that campaign and hearing the name Khai come out. And I remember hearing about there's something going on in Camden.
Yeah.
Other than a concert or violence. So it's a good thing.
Of course, the city has an interesting city, but there's a lot of great people there, a lot of good organizations trying to revitalize the city and bring more opportunities to it. And we were trying to also help with that initiative. Well,
Yeah.
fast forward, things went well. We got our first 10 actual customers and we started like making actual income with it. And so at some point in 2017, myself and my co-founders thought, you know what, let's make a real company. Let's actually do this full time.
That's
And,
wild.
and then we
Were
did.
you doing things on the side during, like, were you doing other jobs other than waterfront at that time?
Yeah, we were doing a lot of things on the side to earn income. Didn't make a lot of money, but one of the major thing that we did was web development. We were just
Yeah.
doing web development, SEO consultations, social media management, you name it, we probably did it.
Yeah.
Honestly, you needed me to wreck your yard, I would.
Yeah, there's a lot of hustling going, a lot of
Yeah.
hustling.
We didn't have any ambition for the company to grow to where it is today. And we're obviously
Wow.
exceptionally proud of all the people involved.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's been fun to watch from afar and see how things have grown because you've been highlighted in technically the local tech crunch, I like to call it. Chris cringes when I compare it to TechCrunch. Chris is the CEO and editor of technically, but it's that kind of the technology blog of our area. And so I've been watching you guys grow. I was lucky enough to be on your show, which by the time this comes out will have been out. So of course we're talking in the future, but about the past, it's kind of inception like here. We're gonna take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show. But so Kai, so you're originally from Vietnam. When did you come over here?
I came over with my family in 93.
Oh, so
Late
you've
93,
been here
early
for a while.
94. Actually, technically, it was January of 94.
Oh, to be
Long
exact.
time ago.
Yeah.
Literally 29 years ago.
Yeah, because you have no accent. Like it's
Yeah.
so how old were you when you came over?
Think about 4.
Oh yeah, that's the reason why you have no accent, because
Yeah. I was so
yeah,
young at that time.
you're 4, you're still young. You're still young, but still. So you came over here and were your parents entrepreneurs at all, or what did they do?
So I didn't come here with my parents actually. My parents had to stay in Vietnam at that time. Uh, let's just say it was a complicated situation.
Usually
My
is.
my dad couldn't come with my mom. I think that's the long and the short of it because the program that I qualified to come here, my grandfather, because he fought against the communists during the Vietnam War, that made him
Ooh.
eligible to bring his immediate family to the States. But immediate means that excludes my mother. So my dad,
That's semantics. So that's
yeah. So of course he couldn't just leave his wife there and other family members. So he stayed to take care of the remainder of our family.
but then is everyone over here now?
Yeah. So my parents, all my siblings, everyone's here now.
That's just great. And then I guess they see where you've come from, where you've gone. You are the American dream here. I mean, look at this. I mean, you're rocking it now. It's great. I remember when we first talked about me being on your show, you're hanging out in your basement, and you had said something very interesting about how, and maybe you can reiterate what that was about how you stay in the lowest part of you don't turn on the AC if you can help it, kind of thing, like
Yeah.
an immigrant mentality.
Yep. My family, we came from very humbling beginnings. We have never been wealthy. And so for me, even though I have a private place that I can call my own now, I still live with that mentality that
Yeah.
this is where my family came from. So like, we're just not used to turning the AC on. We just don't turn the heat on.
Is it on today? Because right now it's at 98 degrees.
It's on today.
You're like homage to your past only goes so far.
Yeah, I decided to splurge a little bit today and turn on the AC. You
Oh
gotta
my
treat
god.
yourself once in a while.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's insane. Like it hasn't. We've been lucky in Philadelphia. It's not been like the South where it's been like 110 all the
Yeah,
time. We had a few nice weeks here. I always talk about the weather on this podcast. It's like a side thing on this podcast, but like today is hot, and
yeah,
we're in the beginning of we're like the first week of September, but it's like the end of August was nice actually. It wasn't too bad.
yeah. August just went right by. Like,
And you
you know what?
blink, it's gone.
Wasn't it just? Is it just me or like
No, the
September?
older you get, the faster things go. So just wait. You think it's going fast? Wait till you're 42 like me. It goes really fast.
September 1st was like yesterday, right? And then we had the
And
weekend,
it's almost the 7th. Yeah, exactly.
and then today September 7th. Like, what happened? What happened to the first week of September?
Yeah, it was a blink. I mean, my kid went back to school, so
Yeah.
that was kind of trying to get back in that flow of things. But anyhow, to get back to entrepreneurship here. What is the best thing about entrepreneurship in your mind? Because you did the hustle mentality, which is kind of entrepreneurship, but this is entrepreneurship, Penji.
Yeah.
What's the best thing about it?
Uh, Difficult to say because as much as I hate to admit it, it's luck.
It is.
The
Yeah.
vast majority of it is, as much as we want to attribute talent, skills, hustle, late night hours, these things all affect the outcome for sure. But a large part of it really is just luck. Um,
Yeah.
and I can say that confidently because uh, in my early 20s, I didn't have much luck with business. Out of right out of school, I started selling websites because I didn't have a real career path. So I was going
Yeah.
around selling WordPress websites.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I still do that.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that at all.
No, but when you're young, it's like, what am I gonna do? Oh, I can build a website. Great. And you just start
Yeah,
doing that. Yeah.
I pretended to be an agency. It was just me. Like I was a secretary. I was everybody in the company, and I would go out as the salesman. Listen, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's the you eat what you kill model. So you get customers
It's so
in, great.
true. Eat what you
That's
kill, yeah.
stressful.
Kill
Try,
that Twinkie.
yeah, exactly. Done a lot of different startups and ideas, and each one, fails for various reasons. Never
Yeah.
because you didn't work hard enough. That was
Yeah.
rarely the reason. Most of the reason were just outside of your control. People didn't want your product as much as you thought they did. Your
Mhm.
product, your service was far more difficult to provide than you originally thought.
It's
And
always the case, yeah.
and websites, right? The hardest part was not designing or coding the website. It was content.
Oh my god,
The
don't get me
hardest
started on that.
because you
Yeah.
put the demo content in for customers, it looks beautiful. And they keep forgetting that, you know, the what makes the website gorgeous is the content they provide.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes years for them to even provide you the
Oh my
hero
god.
graphics, the
No joke. Yeah.
right. Well, good thing with ChatGPT nowadays you can just write it yourself.
You can put it in there, at least you get a starting point. You don't have to stare at a blank screen anymore. I mean, it's my biggest thing with my clients. It's like they always say, like, how long does it take to build a website? I'm like 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes faster, sometimes slower. Almost always, and they say, well, that sounds great. I'm like, but it's gonna be six to 12 months. And they're like, why? I'm like, because you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like playing something, and I stop and I wait for them to respond. They're like, why me? Because you will take forever to get me the content.
Yep.
Every
Exactly.
time, even sometimes, and I've had one client, and they were a CBD wholesale client, an e-commerce website. So something that you think would take a long time. I got that in 3 weeks. You know why? They had all their ducks in a row. They had everything ready for me. They handed me a binder literally full of stuff. Then I asked for digital, and then it took them another day. But only a day to give me everything digital, and we banged at the site. I tell everyone that story, and I'm like, but you're not going to do that for me. And they always laugh. So
Yeah.
then on the flip side, what is the scariest thing about being an entrepreneur?
The scariest thing, that's a great question. For me, it would be losing respect and reputation within your own
Mm,
company.
yeah.
It's not a sexy thing to admit, really, but what I found to be most difficult is to be consistent
Hmm.
because the excitement when the company first started, it's going to wear away very quickly.
Oh, it does.
And everyone starts their journey as this fun, upbeat, easygoing, very relaxed, uh, attitude. And then once the stress, the anxiety, the challenges starts rolling in, that's when not that you become a different person, but you are required. It's more so like graduating school.
Yeah.
What you were in kindergarten, how your attitude, the things that you learn, you have to upgrade when you get to fifth grade, right? You're just
Yeah.
not the same person. And when you get to
No.
high school, of course, the company matures similar to your school journey.
Yeah.
When you, as the further along you go, you have to change. You do. You can't
Oh,
be so right now, today, we're over 400 people right now for Penji, and we're just
wow.
the same company as we were when we had 14 people.
No.
Um, And of course, it's regretful. The scary thing for me, to answer your question more directly, is how to still maintain respect with everybody as I get stricter and as the company becomes more rigid and more formalized.
Yeah, more processes go
Yeah,
into place. You're not flying by the seat of your pants as much because you can do
yeah.
that more with 14 people. You can't do that with 400 people. It's like turning the Titanic.
Yeah. At 14 people, you didn't have that many things happening at the same time. There weren't that many decisions or problems going on at the same time. But of course, as you grow, the problem keeps multiplying.
Oh my
And
god.
the idea that um, delegation does not make your job easier, that's a completely misunderstanding, right? So
No.
at first, you are, let's say, I was the first designer for the company, of course.
Of
Uh,
course.
yeah, once you hire designers, I became, of course, the squad leader or design manager. And you thought, well, you have less work. No, you don't have less work. You have more complex work.
You
You
have different
simply,
more. It's different.
exactly, it's just different work. It's a bit more complex. And then once you have your little team, you thought, okay, I'll step back and I'll hire team managers and I should get less work. No, not at all. You get even more complex work. And what I noticed is that the larger problems, um, they always exist. It's just you're not mature enough to know about it. Like a kindergartner doesn't understand that calculus exists. It's waiting for them, right? They have no
Well,
idea
very
what the
few
definition
kindergartners know about that.
exactly, but it's there.
A Absolutely, yeah. That's wild. That is a very good analogy, the kindergartner. I love that. So what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
You mean physically or mentally?
Well, it can be both.
Oh, well, I would say the most valuable thing to carry is a consistent personality.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Um, And what I mean is, whenever anyone at Penji asks me, how was your day? There's one response: fantastic. There is
Love it.
no other response. It's never good, never great, never okay, never anything. It's always fantastic. So
Love it.
as your company grows, you are expected, like everything is a reflection of me. So if I come in and I'm looking grumpy, grouchy, or I seem to be having a rough weekend, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
People's opinions of the company could fluctuate as well. So
Yeah.
I need to always carry a consistent persona, personality, language, everything
Yeah. I mean,
from
and
meeting
also
to meeting to meeting.
if you highlight this, you're fantastic, it makes you feel fantastic.
Yeah.
Like psychologically, it's like you're not just good, you're fantastic. You actually start to believe that. Even if you might not be fully fantastic that day, you're at least working towards that. So that's a
Yep.
good thing.
And I
So
think
Guy,
if I could expand on that a little
yeah,
bit more.
please, please.
So I work nighttime as well. I work with our team here in the HQ office, but I also work with our global team during
Yeah.
nighttime.
Oh
Other
God.
big challenge is just not looking tired because I
Oh,
can't look exhausted. When I go to meetings with them, I can't say, "Oh, I'm so tired, so sleepy." It slips once in a while, but you always have to look energetic, and you have to look, and just be your optimistic self, no matter which time of day. That
hey Kai, how are you feeling at 12 midnight? Fantastic.
just to do a
And
line.
they know you're lying through your
Ah,
teeth.
fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah. They know that you're lying through your teeth, but they're like, "We appreciate your enthusiasm, Kai."
Mm, yeah.
That's awesome.
No,
So Kai,
don't
where
know
can they
online.
find you?
They
No,
don't.
no, no, don't. No, 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 no. Where can they find you online? Where does your main watering hole? Like, they can connect with Kai.
Emails, always in my inbox. Now, I mean, I don't check it throughout the day, but that's where I'm most responsive.
And also Penji is Penji.
PENGI, correct.
Yeah. And in your I assume, are you on LinkedIn or like other spots, or are you mainly just kind of head down, working, working, working?
Yeah, LinkedIn. I mean, I have a social media accounts for everything, but I think where I'm most active would be LinkedIn.
Yes, absolutely. So Kai, this is so much fun. I'm so glad we got to hang out on here. We even sidetracked onto, the weather a little bit, which was fun. So
Yeah, likewise, Seth. Fantastic.
yes, and we'll see everyone next time.
Thank you, Seth. Fun talking to you. I'll see you.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneurs Enigma, please review us in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps other podcast listeners find our show. If you're looking for other podcasts in the marketing space, look no further than the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcasts.net. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode. This podcast is one of the many great shows on the MPN Marketing Podcast Network.